Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Live Your Spa Life show. Spa life is a lifestyle that accepts that accomplishment and harmony coexist. The Spa and Spa Life, the SPA, is for seek power always, that power within you to do your deeper work in the world. I am so delighted to have a friend and special guest on the show today, Allison. I love when we just go this and we just run into it with our words. My special guest and friend, Allison Maslan, who is the CEO of Pinnacle Global Network. She is the Wall Street Journal's best-selling author of Scale or Fail, which is endorsed by Daymond, John, and Barbara Corcoran of Shark Tank. Allison has built 10, and I want to say that again, you didn't mishear me, 10 successful businesses and companies starting out at the age of 19. So this woman knows what she's talking about. And she and her team of CEO mentors pay it forward, helping business owners scale their companies, fast track their success, and create more meaning in their life. Allison, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Diane, for inviting me here today. I'm excited.
Well, I am so excited as well because I love what you're up to, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about your Pinnacle Global Network. This is your private mentoring, and this is where you have mentored thousands of business owners. You are a go-to in scaling in business, and I just want to also let our listeners know that it's not that you've got to where you've scaled your business and then you're done, right? You are somebody who is continuing to scale your businesses, and you've been featured in Inc., Success, Fortune, Fast Company, Forbes Magazine. I mean, you are a regular contributor to the Entrepreneur Magazine, as well as a featured expert, and I want you all to hear this, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and Fox across the country. So you have really been out there touching people for a long time, and I'd love for you to share about what does it mean to actually scale your business and what keeps you scaling?
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that, Diane. Scaling what it really means is that you grow the business beyond you, and you basically replace yourself in your company, in a sense, and you find a way to take your business model, replicate what you do so that you can multiply your reach, the number of people that you're impacting in the world. And when you multiply your reach and your impact, of course, your profits are going to go up as well. So as an example, let's say you are an accountant and you have your clients that you take care of their books for their taxes. There's only so many people that you can help. So if you were to scale your accounting practice, one of the ways to do that would be to build a team managed company where you take your signature accounting process, you train other accountants to facilitate that process, and as many as you desire to do, and how many people that you want to reach in the world, and you elevate yourself as the CEO of that company, and you're working on the business rather than in the day-to-day of the business.
I love that. So, I think that probably a lot of business owners start out wanting to scale their business. What do you think is the thing that keeps them kind of stuck or stagnant or unable to actually accomplish that?
Yeah, it's a challenge for a lot of business owners because, like the example that I gave with the accountant, this is how we start our businesses. We are seeing our clients. We care about our clients. We want to make sure that the work is done well. And so to grow, you actually have to let go. And that's a scary thing to do. And we also feel like it has to be us, because if it's not us, the client will leave, or people can't do it as well as we do. So we get in our own way with our own thinking. And so that's really is a challenge. The other piece of it is just habit. It's the way we've always done it. It is what we know. But there is a saying, what got you here will not get you there. It's great to get you to a certain point, but if you really want to expand and impact a lot more people in the world and grow a much bigger entity, you have to be willing to change. And that's the part that people struggle with. And to be honest, many never get beyond that point.
Right, right. Well, I think part of that, becomes fear. And one of the things we talk about is, what are some of the tools that you use to get beyond fear so that you can be fierce and you can step in that. And, you shared a definition around fear that I find fascinating, where fear is a symptom of our past programming and the result of a way we view our self-worth, confidence, and capability. And I think sometimes when people look at fear, they don't necessarily think of it as their past programming. They look at it as what's right in front of them right now. And as part of that, one of the things I find most fascinating about you is that you are a trapeze artist. And not only are you a trapeze artist, but you actually have the swings and the nets and everything in your backyard that you actually get to perfect that for yourself. I know you utilize a lot of your teams for that to help get past fear. How did you use being a trapeze artist as a way for you to move through fear?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I started as a trapeze artist, I wasn't thinking at the time, oh, I'm going to use this as a vehicle to help me grow in my business, but it actually, that's exactly what has happened. I was a gymnast for many years in my earlier years. And then when I discovered the trapeze in my early 30s, I was like, oh my God, like you really can get up on that thing and you can really fly on that thing just like they do in the circus. And so I was in absolute heaven from the get-go when I first discovered the trapeze. And then I discovered a family in Los Angeles that was a 5-generation circus family. They flew for Ringling Brothers for many years. And so I trained with them for 20 years, driving back and forth from San Diego several hours a week. And then a few years ago, we were able to move into this retreat center home that has a lot of land. And I said, I have got to put a trapeze in my backyard. So now I get to walk out my back door. Instead of driving hours, I literally stepped like 50 feet and I'm able to climb up the ladder. And every time I climb up the ladder, I'm facing my fear. In fact, just this last week, I was able to take a trick out of the safety lines that I've been working on for a while. And so even after this long, after 20 years, I'm constantly trying to take it to the next level. But I'm shaking. There is still fear. It is such a mindset thing when you're up there, Diane, or when you're in business. Mindset is everything. I'm up there having conversations with myself going, Allison, you can do this. You can do this.
Right.
And when I gain confidence in my body and my awareness, and I just learn to trust that I do know how to do this, or, I am capable, or on the ground, if I'm going to be doing a new business strategy, really trusting in the fact that I am bringing in value, that we can make this happen, even if we don't know all of the steps. That's where the breakthrough is. So it's being willing to jump off that pedestal or start that new project or make that new offer, even though you're not perfect at it, but with just being willing to take the leap and perfecting it along the way. Yeah. That's how you grow.
Yeah, I love it. And, for listeners who, maybe you've seen that, trapeze on TV or maybe even at the circus, but I have literally been in Allison's backyard looking up at how tall that actually is and going up the ladder. And it's just fascinating to just see that leap of faith, really, where you're just jumping off and just doing it, even within that fear within you. And I just love the metaphor of just like flying through the air with the greatest of ease, right? When you actually jump and you actually do it, how that process can really can support you. And it reminds me of times when I was a police officer and walking down dark alleys and just, there was fear. There was definitely fear, and I've been shot at and I've had fearful situations, and it's just taking those steps to just do it anyway, and knowing that you can reach the other side and have some accomplishment is, I think it's just an amazing feat that, for those of us that step off the stand and just go for it. And I know that you utilize some processes for your clients as well, so that they can be the higher version of themselves. How do you kind of put them in that situation of getting beyond their fear, beyond their programming, to actually be that higher version?
Yeah, so we take our clients in Pinnacle Global Network, which are, some of them even are very successful people. Everybody has fear. It doesn't matter what level that you're at. So the first thing is to not judge yourself, to know that that's normal. It is a normal human emotion to have fear. It's normal to have doubts. It's normal to question our capability. And the only way to really break through the fear is to actually do it. But the first thing we do is to help identify, where did the fear where did it originate? When in your life did you first feel that thing? It doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing now, but when did you feel that feeling come up? Was it when your father said to you, this is never going to work? Or who do you think you are? Or maybe they never said anything to you at all, but you heard an argument with your parents, or you felt an energy, and it brought up a lot of fear for you as a child. And now stepping out and putting yourself out there is bringing up those same feelings. It can be, everybody has that, some level of impact, trauma from those developmental years. The key is that once you identify that, you're able to see that what is happening now is not what happened when you're a child. The first thing for any transformation to happen is awareness. So that when you find yourself in the situation that you are trying to move forward in, that you can say to yourself, okay, Allison, this fear that's coming up right now, this is old stuff. This is the little Allison of feeling like that I didn't please my parents. If I fall on this, if I make a mistake, it's really okay. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be loved. It doesn't mean that I don't bring value. So it's getting to the truth of what is really happening. So we take our clients through this process to figure out what is real and what is the past that you can then let go of. And then what we actually do is we have them stand up and physically step into the future that they want to create for themselves, which is very powerful. It's one thing to write it down, but it's another to actually stand up and walk forward and step into, this is who I am. This is the greatness that I am already now, and own that. And then turn around and talk to your present self, and for whatever is coming up in that moment. It could be something like trust the process, or I've got this, or you are capable. Everybody has a different experience. Yeah. But it really is about learning to have the awareness, let go of the past, and step into the future.
I love this. And I love this aspect about awareness, right? Because we can't make shifts of things that we don't aware of. And I know that you have some practices where you, consciously make choices, every day. And you have something around your manifestation visualization. And I'd love for you to share what you do with that and how that supports you on a daily basis. This isn't just a one and done. This is really getting clear every single day, having those awarenesses and making some conscious choices.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been at this business thing for 35 years. And so it's something that you, as a human being, if we're not evolving and growing, we're dying.
Yes.
So I'm always looking at how can I take it to the next level. And that is really for me, just to know that I am stepping into the full potential in this lifetime. The other thing is I just want to have a good day. Like, who doesn't want to have a good day? And so all of the things that I'm sharing with you, this is what we take our clients through. And because of that, not only is their business making a lot more money, they transform as a human being. So the manifestation process that I have created is on my computer. I have pulled together photographs and I put PDF documents together that are pictures that elicit a strong emotion in me, an emotion of inspiration, an emotion of gratitude, of hopefulness, of excitement, of fun. Be pictures of my husband and I, my daughter, my team. And so I have these pictures rotate in a slideshow, and I watch this every morning. And actually, there is a company called Mind Movies that does this as well. And I also take PDFs and I just write a statement, you know, something that I want to manifest, something that is important to me. And I also list all the things that I'm grateful for. And then I turn on iTunes, so I have music in the background, a song that's inspiring for me. And I take about 7 minutes every morning, and I have this rotating, and this is how I start my day. Before I do anything else, before I get on emails, before I get on calls, because it gets me focused in the direction that I want to go. And every single time, even if I'm in a bad mood, even if something's happened that's been upsetting, this shifts it for me. And it reminds me why I'm doing all that I'm doing. What's my higher purpose? What's my mission? And it just gets my head planted in the right energy and the right direction. And if I'm really struggling with something, I might watch it 2 or 3 times in the day. Sometimes you need a little bit more.
Right. I love that. I love that so much, because when you think about what we create in our environments, like what we visually see and what we hear, like those are the things that really get us like up and moving in the direction of what we want to do. Which reminds me, one of the things I love asking my guests is, you know, you've created a beautiful environment. And so for those of you who are listening and don't have the benefit to see one of the wonderful rooms that Allison's in, everything in her space is very intentional. You can actually look at the video part in YouTube if you want to see this. But we have different experiences in different rooms of our life. Like we feel differently in our bedroom versus our living room versus our office. What is your favorite room in your home and why?
Oh my goodness. Well, we manifested this home. So we've been here for 4 years, and every day where we used to live, which was a nice place too, but much, much smaller. There weren't any windows in the bedroom. And so I used to sit and visualize to have a space, because I do a lot of writing, which I love, and creating. I wanted something with a lot of windows. So as you can see, this is my living room here. So there are a lot of windows, but also in our bedroom as well. And I love to be able to wake up, look outside, look out in nature. And then before I go to sleep, I'm able to look out and I see the moon as well. So I would probably say our bedroom is my favorite, just because, you know, I do a lot of writing in there. But it really is exactly what you say, Diane. I so believe that environment does impact us greatly on how we feel.
Yeah, I love it. Well, speaking of environments, I know that one of your strengths and something that really distinguishes you is how you build company culture. And, you know, that's kind of like this elusive thing that people talk about. How do I get the right team? And, you know, how's everyone on the same page? And, you know, really looking at from what inspires a company. And, you know, we know that the person that founds the company, they usually are the most inspired because it's their journey, it's their original vision. But how do you then, you know, move that throughout the culture where you've got people that are collaborating and that they're being leaders and they're all like working towards the same thing? How are you cultivating that kind of culture?
That is a great question. And I think it goes back to a little bit of what we've been talking about, because I am so lock solid in our higher purpose and in our mission and in our vision. So when we do our hiring process, I want to make sure that we're attracting people that are also on board with that vision. And if you talk about it enough, and it exudes from you in every meeting that you have and how you show up for your clients, there will come a point that your team really gets it. And so you don't even have to be there, and that energy is still there. The other thing that really has been key for us, we've been running Pinnacle for 10 years now. And for the last 8 years, we have had, just for the mentoring team alone, we've had a 2-hour meeting every Wednesday morning with our full mentoring team. And now we have 12 CEOs that work with our clients without fail. Everybody's on there. I mean, occasionally someone's sick or something like that, but we get on there and the whole team is on there every single week for years. And so we discuss strategy, we discuss how can we step up as a team, we discuss a challenge that a client is having or new practices. So everybody's on board and there is no disconnect in communication. I think that's key. And we do the same in our marketing team. We do the same with our admin team. And there's a point when you grow, you don't, as the business owner, need to be the one running all of those meetings. You put other leaders in those positions. But the consistency is key, and continually communicating your higher purpose and your mission. Yeah. Those two things.
I love that. I love it. You know, and to have that commitment on a consistency basis is amazing, to have that level of participation. And, you know, we're talking about just over time, just how you've scaled your businesses and you've arrived at the place that you are now. One of the things we like to look at, you know, especially as people are listening in here and they're at various stages of their life and business, what has been like a disempowering time for you, where things weren't working as well, and what type of outlook, kind of things that you did, what kind of shifts that you made that allowed you to move through that to then be in a more empowering space?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in running 10 different businesses, there's no way that I wouldn't be, you know, flat on my face many times over the years, you know. It's easy to look at where I am now and say, oh, wow, well, for her, it's been easy. And so I really want to communicate, you know, I was a single mom. I had no money whatsoever. I had lots of people around me, even my close family that I love, saying, Allison, the dreams that you have are too big. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're going to fail. I heard all of those things. And I didn't know what I was doing in the early days at all. You know, I had a lot of things fall apart. I lost a lot of money. I ended up having a horrible car accident from working too much and being completely stressed out. And so I think for me, going through all of those times actually made me a stronger person. Daymond John has a book called The Power of Broke. And I love that statement, the power of broke, because I truly believe that all of those times that I had my back against the wall, that I didn't know how I was going to make payroll, or, you know, my daughter upset with me because I haven't had the time to spend with her. Like all of the things that you just want to pull your hair out with, right? Made me dig my heels in more to say, I'm not going to settle. You know, I want to grow this business because I want to make a difference in the world. I want to be an amazing parent. I'm not going to half-ass it. I don't exactly know how to do it, but I'm going to get the support, you know. So I have always had a coach or been in a mastermind and investing in myself. I continue to do that to this day. But all of those falls have made me more resilient because I've gotten back up and said, okay, well, that didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. And I'm just going to keep trying until I work through it. And so it's the resilience really is key. No, you're going to get knocked down. It's not about the knockdown. It's about what are you going to do to get back up? What are you going to do after the knockdown that counts?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's why, we see you as a positive disruptor in the world, that you're really making that impact. And I love just your statement as far as your impact of you're elevating humanity through business. I just love that so much. Can you speak into a little bit about how business is being, elevated, and by utilizing some of these principles and by scaling and just by the whole stance of what you're about, how does that all come together to elevate humanity?
Well, I truly believe that entrepreneurs are the change makers in the world. You're the inventors, you're the idea makers, you're doing the breakthroughs in anything from environment to health to mental and physical wellness. It's critical that we have you. You are the creators, and everybody is born with gifts. Absolutely everybody. So what an entrepreneur does is take those ideas, those gifts, that imagination, puts it out into the world. And by doing that, you help lift others up. So if I can be the person that helps to create the ripple effect to help all of those entrepreneurs go out and help their families and help their customers and help their employees and their employees' families, that is my dent in the universe. So small business makes up 40% of the economy as well. We need you as the business owner. So I am committed to helping the business owner tap into those gifts and make that the biggest leap that they possibly can.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for what you do and sharing your wisdom. And I know that our listeners are going to want to stay in contact with you. How can they do that?
Well, you can check out our website, which is pinnaclegn.com. The letter G, the letter N.com for Pinnacle Global Network. And we have our show as well, the Scale or Fail Show. You can check that out on iTunes or Spotify. Or anyone can even email me directly just at support@pinnaclegn.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much for being here on the show and sharing your wisdom. It definitely has impacted myself and our listeners. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
You got it. And for our listeners, I want to thank you for taking one of your greatest resources, your time, to be here with us, to be part of building a positive community, to share just tools and ways to really make impact in the world. So if you have any questions, please make sure that you tag both myself and Allison. We're happy to answer any questions that you have, and to please subscribe and share this out in the world, because that's how we expand as a positive community. So until we connect again, live your spa life. Bye for now. Bye.